I think we're at nearing the peak of the AI. I guess that's my point here. GPT is great. I use it every day. A lot of these AIs are great and they're really cool and they can start making videos now. But we're starting to see a limit of what they can really do at this moment in time. GPT, for wonderful as it has been and has been making the same type of mistakes for the last year that I've been using it. And here's what I mean by I'm going to give you exactly a great example. I'm sure there's others. If there are, please comment below. I'd love to hear your experiences with this technology. So, if you're applying for jobs, which I have in the past, and you want to put up your resume on GPT, and then you want to put up your cover letter on GPT, you can say, hey, save this is resume number one, save this is cover letter number one. It will do that. And then you post a job description for a new job you want to apply for. And you say, hey, can you write a cover letter tailored to this job based off my resume? And it will say, yes, I got you. And it will produce a beautiful cover letter that you can send to an employer. Do it 10 times. Still does it. By around the 11th, 15th time, something funny starts to happen. GPT stops referring to, even if you gave the initial cover letter and resume a clean variable name and you've never changed it, it starts to forget that that was your original document. And it begins referencing its prior versions of the cover letters the products that you produced, rather than the initial, inputs. Okay, and it becomes a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and it's not supposed to do that. I mean, in your head, in the human brain, you can run an idea a million times and refine it better and better every time. This thing gets a little confused, and it doesn't. By the 15th, 20th, nth iteration of please use resume number one and cover letter number one for this job, I'm telling you, try it if you don't believe me. It's going to start pushing out funny results. And it starts saying random stuff too. Like, I managed a portfolio of $5 million. Folks, if I ran a portfolio of $5 million, do you think this would, okay? So that didn't happen. But it just put it in there. So these things have limitations. And I don't see them. And this has happened since last year. Like, even the new iteration of GPT-4, this hasn't been fixed. And we see videos, right? Like, it's really clear to see that a video is AI. It's quite obvious that, okay, this is AI. AI, like, is trying to figure it. Every AI painting looks like a Salvador Dali. And frankly, I'm glad that we're there and we're not too far ahead with this technology yet. Because things can get scary. But I do think at the moment we are hitting a temporary peak in what this technology really can do. Because, as much as AI is helping businesses, it is making things more efficient. I can write cover letters 3 times as fast. But is it really changing the world to justify a 5x increase in Nvidia's market cap? Okay, these are just honest questions that one has to ask, especially where we are right now with the technology. So I think companies they're investing so heavily in AI, and because they're starting to hit this wall of limitation, they're investing even heavier to try to get around it. It's just like the Bitcoin network. The more you're putting in, the heavier it is to lift. So the more capital companies have to put into AI research, the less they can put into their other quicker money turning projects. So we're at this and we just saw in the earnings reports, right? This is what it was. This is why the stocks were down today, because companies are putting in tens of billions of dollars into AI, which will be great 5 years from now, but it's not giving immediate cash flow today or tomorrow. That's going to continue to happen. And I think some companies are going to stop investing in AI until another company's product, makes it more efficient for them and they can just use that. I don't think every company and their mother is going to keep investing in AI. That's silly. That's not how the world's going to run. Investors are getting slightly wary. Traders are getting slightly wary about valuations, and this earnings season is kind of showing that in live time. I think the markets are still going to go up over the next year. I'm bullish. It's just I'm not as bullish as maybe. It's hard to potentially beat this year where the S&P is up 25, 26%. Okay. Especially if AI was leading the charge and we're hitting this relative peak. Unless we get a game changer. We could get a game changer, but it's doubtful at this moment in time. We're probably going to fulfill the technological curve innovation cycle. And we have crypto. So Bitcoin hit some almost all-time highs this week. First time since the summer. All year, guys, other than January and February, crypto has really been in a very tight range. It's been floating in the 60s, barely touching the 70s. As of tonight, we're back down to 69. So we're still in the 60s, still forming a very bullish attempted breakout here. If you zoom out, the charts are looking really good, in my opinion. We are in the season of the witch for Bitcoin. It is time for the bull run to be coming sooner than later, especially if a certain candidate gets elected. We're having trouble breaking through. We need to break through all-time highs, and we need to hold above all-time highs for the fun in crypto to really begin. And there is a possibility, and we could get a longer bull market, but one maybe not as intense. Rates are a lot higher than they were. We're not in a zero rate environment anymore. And interest rates, will segue this to another whole conversation because I love the topic about interest rates and sovereign debt. But interest rates are not going down the way traders thought they were maybe in the summer. All economies, Western economies, are surprisingly strong, especially the U.S. economy. It's going to give the Fed a little reserve, no pun intended, of wanting to lower rates more. And with continuing to just spend and spend and spend, in our fiscal deficit really getting scarily high, and I'll bring this up in our third segment, rates aren't going to go too down. That's not going to be the juice that's going to run crypto this time. I think innovation and real cash flow for these protocols, user engagement, and beginning of integration to the financial system, the traditional financial system, is going to move crypto higher. Venmo has just partnered with Uniswap to give instant crypto settlements for many different types of tokens through Uniswap's L1 and L2 layers. Okay, that's a new news that just came out. And as well as that, MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, the temporary god of crypto, is instructing his company, MicroStrategy, to buy $42 billion in Bitcoin. I'm going to repeat that. He's instructing MicroStrategy to buy $42 billion in Bitcoin. And to finance this purchase, MicroStrategy is going to go through a massive stock sale and bond issuance at $21 billion each to finance Bitcoin's purchase. They're going to be laying it over 5 years. Okay, that's almost $8 billion a year jumping into Bitcoin. Crazy. I don't know how to. So first of all, let's talk about the numbers. It's kind of funny. 21 million. Get it? Okay. 42 is also funny because it's the secret of the universe, and it's also a very, very important number for geometry for the Earth. It's very symbolic for many, many reasons. If you don't know the major significance of the number 42, along with the numbers 3, 6, and 9, go check it out. Okay, go check it out. How legit is this guy? I mean, if the company is raising $42 billion, that's pretty legit. But I want to see other companies do this, right? MicroStrategy can do what they want. They could dump all the Bitcoin. It's not illegal. It's not a regulated market. They could do that. If other companies are going to be doing this, more so competitors of MicroStrategy are going to start buying Bitcoin at these levels, that will be one of the big legitimacy acceptance moments for crypto because you have the major Fortune 500 companies now, jumping in on this. There's sovereign nations that are buying it. Yes, a few. Russia's going to start using it tomorrow, apparently, along with a CBC version of the ruble to get around Western sanctions. So countries are using crypto for their means. But if you have some of the largest corporations, the ones we just talked about earlier, start to buy Bitcoin at the levels that MicroStrategy is, that is a legitimization of an asset class.